subscribe and ring the bell to never miss an update.
Hello everyone! Today on Lady Marybeth, it's part 2 of our visit to High Street Antiques. It's the largest antique mall in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, located off Central Expressway in Plano. We're going to go back in and discover some more treasures together. Join me. Welcome back to High Street Antique Mall for part 2 of our visit to this lovely store. With 50,000 square feet, over 250 vendors, we're going to find some more treasures together. I'm glad to bring you part 2 of our visit to High Street Antiques, and we will look at a variety of items that we didn't get to see last visit. Let's get started and discover some more treasures together. I can't wait to take you along. We can see some great collections and things that are well priced. It is such a vast store, and there's something different in every corner, and of course for every taste and style. And Chinoiserie is very well represented here. We didn't quite talk about that enough during part 1. $795 for this brass vase or ginger jar. That would be a stunning standalone piece. And we have some English imari. And I love that they have lots of decor inside as well. Reminds me of our visit to the Franklin Antique Mall, Winchester Antiques. And it's quite a warm welcome here at High Street. They've got beautiful glass cases full of treasures as you walk in. And I love all the blue. So many different elements here today. And it's nice when the dealers are present because you can ask lots of questions and they're full of good information. And you'll notice that orange that is also part of that blue and white. And that is more of the imari look. And some of these plates are quite special. This one is $695. It's a heavy gilt over an imari design. And now we're going to see a great piece of furniture. And I did get to visit with the dealer on this. This was a very special family piece for her. From the 1890s. Absolutely wonderful. And again, this can go in any room of the house, just like some of the other great furniture pieces we have found here. And think of the great storage. If you've been to a retail furniture store lately, you know that the prices are quite high and the quality is sometimes a bit disappointing. That's why I always shop an antique store before I even think about going to the retail market. And here's a great example of that. This is an 1890s French chest that is $825 with the original pulls. And look at this beautiful marble top. And there's even an insert inside to help you stay organized. Waterford crystal, as you know, is much more affordable in the secondary market. It's become frightfully expensive in retail stores. And this is the abstract seahorse footed bowl with a scalloped edge. At $165, that's an excellent price. It would have been about $395 retail. Cobalt cut to clear, gorgeous goblets. And this teapot is quite special. It's the Lomonosov, a Russian teapot from St. Petersburg, priced at $360. And it's not all about chinoiserie. There's also a lot of Japanese influence here in the store. And this charger plate is incredible. And then, of course, it depicts an interesting story, and the seller gives us all the information. It's a Kutani porcelain charger with 3 circle scenes and a blue and white trim. And that is $1,500. Looks more like a museum piece. Quite amazing. And this clock I thought was very interesting with that top design or finial. Looks quite French. And the dealer will give us lots of information from the Napoleon period. It's an empowermental clock for $895. They also have some sale items. There are bargains to be found at High Street Antiques. A Chinese moon vase with salamander arms for $2.35, and there's an additional sale on that. It's really a great opportunity to add some home decor. And here is a hidden gem or two or more. Let's take a look at this very well-loved crystal brand. Be sure to go into each booth. You might find a hidden gem, a Waterford crystal sweetheart vase for $22. See how that forms a heart? Very modern, interesting, with traditional cuts. This is one of my favorite finds today. Absolutely adore the heart design. This would be perfect for Valentine's, for a wedding, anniversary gift, with a sweet surprise shape. A bargain alert. Waterford crystal Glassware clarets, which would be perfect for juice at your breakfast table. These are $85 for a set of 6, which works out to be $14 each. Interesting, because 14 hours of labor go into making each glass. This is a retired pattern, and on the secondary market, these would go for quite a lot. And they also have some fun jewelry, and you'll see a piece that I've picked out later. And now we're going to look at one of my favorite booths. It's a mother and daughter, and they shop area estate sales, and they bring some amazing things to High Street, including this most interesting teapot. Lots of things to discover in this booth. And first off, we have a musical teapot. I don't know that I've seen one of these before. It is a working teapot, $32. So obviously you can set your tea table with that and have a surprise with the music. That would be an interesting addition to your teapot collection. Well priced at $32 for this most interesting teapot. Have you noticed these trays that are on display? Of course, they are not only pretty, but quite practical. My mother had a collection. Tole trays gained popularity after 1940 as part of the American colonial revival tradition. Many of them have a black background and feature a floral or leaf motif with a gilt edge. Let's take a look at these gorgeous trays. The ones that I have mostly seen are either with a gold or a black background, and I love all those florals. And that can easily be a decorative item, or you could place it on top of your tea table. As you've seen in the previous segment here at High Street, they had a fantastic tea cart. And this is well priced at $55. Love the pop of color. And these are quite interesting. One has the original box, which is unbelievable. Lots of fruit is used. This one is $85 on sale. You do see some very interesting tole trays, but I've not actually seen the original box. Look at this, your breakfast in bed tray by Yorktown Craftsman, and here it is, $135, mint condition in the box. And crystal, of course, we have to take a closer look at some of the Lismore goblets, the #1 stem pattern across all of tabletop, and very well priced. Cranberry glass, a cake stand, so much to talk about here. Antique and vintage cake stands are always a great idea. This is a Tiffin King's Crown from about 1900, well priced at $58. And if you look at the detail, you can see the seam from the mold and even sort of a breath here with the bubble. A fantastic find with that beautiful etching. I encourage you to consider this for a collection. My cake stand collection is one that I use often and loan out to friends, and it's very versatile to elevate anything on your table or vanity, and of course for serving sweets. Beautiful beverage glasses. That certainly is a way to change up your table setting, and especially when you can add a pop of color with these bohemian cut to clear wine glasses, a set of 8 for $320. Another great reason to shop the secondary market is you can save a lot off of the retail price, and even better, you have a quality that does not exist anymore. The Waterford Crystal Lismore Goblet, which is the #1 stem in all of tabletop. These are priced at $40 each. They're currently $105 each on the Waterford Crystal website or in your local department store. And I can tell you, with a Waterford background, that what you find today is not made in Ireland. It is not the same quality, and it's dishwasher safe. And here you have the classic Waterford at a fraction of the price. This antique mall is definitely a great source for affordable, beautiful, fantastic gifts. I'm going to show you some wonderful examples. When you're thinking of a gift selection, of course, keep your recipient in mind, but you want to give something of quality and perhaps that has an interesting history with the craftsmanship. And here is an American Brilliant cut glass oval dish. It is $24 before the 25% off, and you could fill this with some chocolate truffles wrapped up in cello with a ribbon, and this would make a delightful gift, even with some individual soaps. An incredible price on the Lismore accent plates, $28 less the discount. These retail for well over $100. That would be a great base for a rose bowl. Of course, you could serve individual pastries. This actually would be ideal for scones, brownies, or cookies. The EAPG Victorian style, I would call it a footed dessert stand at $32. That is a great piece. Orrefors Swedish crystal. This is a bowl I haven't actually seen in person. It's quite stunning. And for another European option, here is an Orrefors votive. That is a bit of a modern twist. So for the friend that likes something more contemporary, this would be ideal. It is $22 before the discount, and again, a tea light votive holder. Tiffany and Company, another great price on this Texas Star rimmed bowl, $28 less the discount. Tiffany crystal is actually made in Germany by the Nachtmann factory, which is the company that first made Marquis by Waterford, and they provide for Lenox and a host of other companies. The Orrefors Heart Votive, another amazing deal. I could have bought the whole booth. A pair of Royal Copenhagen crystal votive holders. The price is $22 each before your discount, and this actually could be used for something else because it has quite a nice well inside. You could maybe use that for a dip. Get creative with your gifting, and a pair is always perfect. Tiffany and Company Atlas bowl, and some more Orrefors, and the classic Waterford wedding bowl. I promise you will not shop a department store again for even wedding gifts, birthday gifts, anything. And if you miss this sale, they certainly have more in the future, so you'll want to pop into High Street. And this pedestal bowl from Waterford Crystal I actually have in my collection. It is from the archives. It's very special, lots of detail. And silver plated items, that's actually quadruplate, you can see by that design. Sterling silver candlesticks. If you've ever priced these retail, it's sky high. And this is certainly an affordable item, and you could give as a wedding gift. At $149 less the discount, that is a steal. And in Europe, sterling silver is definitely much more expensive. The Waterford wedding bowl at $148. The last price was $400. That's a great deal. And here is a hidden gem that I am finding today. Unbelievable. $82 less the discount. And that is a sterling lid on this elegant glass base. I just couldn't believe my eyes. Even at silver plate, that would be a fair price, but sterling silver, and there is the hallmark. Gorgeous. I am thrilled to add this to my coffee and tea bar. And here's a look at the etched crystal. This is definitely from turn of the century. I don't know the manufacturer. That's one of those that was probably produced by two different factories. I was not able to identify it, and it is a showpiece. Here's an English silver sauce dish, and that is silver plate, and it's got a beautiful engraving at $159. This definitely will be a booth that I revisit next time I'm at High Street. And here's another bowl, just like we saw, or perhaps this is the same one. I'm losing count. There's so many beautiful things in the case here. And that piece actually is great for a floral centerpiece as well. And here are some more great gifts on the table. And the price is right. And here's a very interesting item from Germany. It is echt Cobalt, which means it's real cobalt, which is that beautiful dark blue underglaze. And this has a backstamp of Kunst Bavaria. From West Germany, this oval dish is reticulated or pierced. And before the discount, it's still a deal at $24. Great gift idea. A steal with this Waterford crystal heart box. This was $95 back in the 1990s. You could easily incorporate that into a side table, centerpiece, anything about love, Valentine's, anniversary. Another great buy is this Waterford crystal votive holder. It is for a tea light candle, which you actually get with this, $24 before the added discount. And this was $50 in the 80s and 90s, so you know you're getting a deal. The Waterford Crystal Seahorse is a very special piece. This is one of the original ones, not the more modern version. Lots of different cuts. The classic Waterford Crystal Seahorse, which is actually part of the logo and symbol for the company. This was made in the 80s and 90s. The retail was $225. It's exquisite in the craftsmanship, the cutting. You just don't find today with Waterford Crystal. And with the discount, it is $66. My friend Mark is delighted for me to take this home for him today. And now we're going to take a look at a Texas collection. I am thrilled with all of these treasures. Lots to interest me. Of course, I'm a daughter of the Republic of Texas, meaning my ancestors fought for our independence. I always say, look down when you're out at an antique store. You never know what you'll find. Here is a framed cross-stitch of the Alamo, which is our Texas shrine located in San Antonio, Texas. And here we have the shape of Texas with the Alamo tucked inside, and the artist has signed it here with cross-stitch. $39 is the list price, and this is going to be a birthday gift for my daughter. A pair of horse bookends for $59. You'll notice the crystal plate that's actually made by the Fostoria Glass Company. They made state plates. This one's $18, a deal. And the Yellow Rose of Texas, $16, definitely belongs in the display. I could have bought it all. Here's a commemorative plate for $20. It's a great piece. Get inspired with a vintage piece for a collection. This can be featured on a bookshelf or really anywhere in your home, even a study. And this Texas plate has all of our famous landmarks, including the Alamo, and it's quite a deal today. You might recognize this Sadler teapot in the Indian tree pattern. I acquired this at the Franklin Antique Mall in Tennessee, and it is quite a shining star in my personal collection. This is actually a peek into the Chocolate Angel Tea Room, which is in the center of High Street Antique Mall. And they've got lots of great areas you can shop, dine, shop again. So much to do here. And they have side rooms, also some private areas, and then a main dining space. Lots of attention to detail, and we can, of course, get some ideas. Welcome to the Chocolate Angel Tea Room in the heart of High Street Antiques. If you're in the Dallas area, that is definitely a destination. You can spend the day with friends, have fun dining and shopping. And they have quite a wonderful menu. You can also reserve for tea time in the afternoon. My favorite, of course, is the strawberry pretzel salad, the soup, and quiche. And they've got a wonderful dessert tray as well. And they served scones today. It's definitely a highlight for me when I come into Dallas and I get to shop High Street and have the Chocolate Angel Tea Room. Shelley, England. They made such beautiful porcelain pieces. A lot of teacups that are collectible today. And here you see a variety of patterns in these plates. Lots of florals. And the Shelley teacup is usually ruffled. Probably recognize that. The chrysanthemum is quite lovely, $25. Gorgeous. And of course you could display a plate. It doesn't have to just be for serving. This one has begonias. And there's also some jewelry. Lots of great estate pieces here, whether you're looking for something a bit more fashionable or maybe 14 karat. There is also some gold filled. It was popular turn of the century. Lots to discover here in these cases. Even some more modern rings. I see some jade there in the background. Estate jewelry is definitely more affordable than shopping retail. And here we've got some very old Victorian pieces. Look at those pins. They were quite popular back then. And well priced, $145 for that delicate scarf pin. And the pearl drop necklace. It is 14 karat white gold, $350. And now let's take a walk down here and we will look into some more cases and discover a teacup. This one is very well positioned for us to see the back stamp. I think they knew that that's what we wanted to see today. This one actually has a number instead of a manufacturer's label. And that is an Amari cup and saucer for $30. And I would venture to say that's probably from the early 1900s. Waterford crystal, the Atlanta flutes, Lismore ice bucket, and some more of those Lismore plates. And let's give them a hand. Love the pops of color. And lots of Waterford pieces. And that's the Kylemore pattern, a clock from Marquis by Waterford. And the Kylemore is priced at $50 each. That's a hard pattern to find. And this is the original iced beverage. Do you recognize that? It does not have a stem on it. The Americana, a pair of flutes, a rose bowl. Absolutely love this collection. And now some dreamy cut to clear in just about every color under the sun. Of course, blue is my favorite. I do enjoy the ruby and the emerald. It's a nice variety.
A dream collection of cut to clear. This ruby vase is well priced at $98. And cut to clear is hand blown or sometimes pressed glass that has been dipped into another layer. And it is fine lead crystal and it has been cut on a wheel to revert back to that clear crystal. Highly collectible and making a comeback.
Lots of work goes into making these cut to clear, and you might want to tune into a previous segment on the Houston Glass Show and hear from one of the vendors.
Cut to clear was made by European and American manufacturers, and much of the European is actually from Bohemia. This is well priced, $98 for this cobalt cut to clear. I wish that I had found this when I was preparing for my 50th birthday party, where I added this to my Chinoiserie decor with pops of pink. This is a fantastic find.
I'm even liking the amber. That's not something I would have thought of before. And the amethyst, of course, is fantastic. That lends itself to so many different directions, including Mardi Gras celebrations. And of course, anything spring with this egg. $99. I think their prices are actually quite fair. And now we get to look at some teacups. My favorite collection I've shared with you on the channel. We're going to look at a variety of these.
Now is a good time to start a teacup collection, especially when you can find them affordably. This Marie Fleur from Villeroy-en-Bach is $14. What a deal. It is a summery look with a bit of a country style. This is a very popular pattern that was released a few years ago. Serve up sweetness with this superb Lenox tapestry, modern teacup and saucer. It's got some beautiful gold accents, and it's also well priced at $19.
I'm even thinking that China Baroque could create some amazing jewelry pieces with this.
A vintage look with this Theodore Haviland teacup and saucer in the apple blossom pattern. It started in 1940, it was retired in 1989, and this is also available with 2 cups and saucers, $10 for the set, and that is a great start to your collection.
An amazing example of American brilliant cut glass. We touched upon this in the previous segment where we visited High Street, and the Victorian era was very popular, $1,295 for this punch bowl. And there's another surprise. Do you see that clock in the center of that server? We're going to learn more about it
This rooster clock was hand carved from one piece of black forest wood. It has French workings and took 3 years to create. It is $8,900, early German museum quality clock. This is truly one of a kind, and such respect for the craftsman who created this, and such vision too. 8,900, and it truly is museum worthy. And I wanted to give you a view of all angles so that you could appreciate the artistry here. Even inside, you see that carving and attention to detail. Amazing. And here's a great example of something fabulous from one of the most famous U.S. glassworks. Highest quality glass from America's oldest glass company. This started in South Boston in 1837. Pearpoint glass is featured in 30 museums across the country, including the Met in New York City. A French decanter set. You might recall from the Gas Lamp Antiques visit in Nashville, Tennessee, that we saw the Tantalus sets. These are exquisite early French, $1,895. And here is a French carved liqueur cabinet from about the 1880s to hold your Tantalus set. It's $895. Great storage. Of course, you could use that for just about anything. And quite a conversation piece. Flow Blue. You probably recall this from our previous visit to High Street Antiques, where we talked about the different eras from early, mid to late Victorian. It changed throughout those time periods from ironstone to more floral in nature, and then a semi-porcelain lighter look. This turkey platter is quite a showpiece. And this is highly collectible. Waterford crystal. I see the Sheila pattern, Lismore balloons, Kyle Moore, and of course the prices are great. And why pay retail? You know, I like to avoid that when possible. And you get a better quality. We all love linens, and I wanted to give you a peek at some of these pretty pieces. And that's something you can definitely incorporate into a modern tablecloth if you simply wanted an overlay or Battenberg lace runner. You can certainly mix the modern and vintage. Isn't that a great piece? And you can even cut pieces up, make pillows if something maybe has some blemishes. And quilts are highly collectible. This one is on sale for $425. And more beautiful crystal, of course, well priced. And you will see some Waterford pieces here. This is not actually Lismore. A lot of vendors think that something is Lismore just because it's beautiful. But not all patterns actually had names in the early days of Waterford. And it is quite heavy. Certainly much better than what you can find today. A marquee by Waterford and a rose bowl. That's gorgeous. You know, one of my favorite tabletop essentials. And here's the Waterford Crystal Lismore cake stand at $195. This is a more modern version, and that's a fair price. And this piece, according to the vendor, just had a bath. This has just come over from France, and he's cleaned it up and priced it for us, and he's about to set it in his booth, $2,199, and it is Tiger Oak. Wonderful sideboard. And the inventory is ever changing here at High Street. There's always something wonderful to discover. I encourage you to come often, and of course you can enjoy the Chocolate Angel Tea Room. These are some treasures that I'm taking home today. The Texas Lone Star State Plate. I also found a James Avery Lover's Knot ring in the dual sterling and 14 karat. This is quite special, and it's my size, so I couldn't resist. Have to take this home today. And of course my prized piece, the sterling lidded elegant glass. Just love it. It's always fun to discover treasures here at High Street, and definitely one of my favorite destination places. So glad you came along with me today for part 2 of our visit to High Street Antique Mall in the Dallas area. So many treasures in this store. If you're in the area, be sure to pop in and enjoy lunch at the Chocolate Angel Tea Room. And if not, make it a destination. Thanks again for joining Lady Mary Beth. Elevate your everyday with antique shopping.